The ICTY Appeals Chamber today partially quashed a trial chamber verdict from June of last year that absolved Bosnian Serb wartime leader Radovan Karadzic of genocide charges. The reinstated genocide charge deals with a campaign of ethnic cleansing against Bosnian Muslims and Croats in 7 municipalities in Bosnia-Herzegovina in 1992. Today marks the 18th anniversary of the Srebrenica massacre. On July 11, 1995, Bosnian Serb forces led by Ratko Mladic murdered more than 8,000 Bosnian Muslims in the UN-protected enclave. Some 50,000 people from around the world attended today's commemorations. A mass burial was held for 409 newly identified bodies in the nearby Potocari Memorial Center. Deputy Prime Minister Branko Grčić announced today that a negotiating platform is being drawn up for talks with the Hungarian oil giant MOL regarding a change in the INA-MOL shareholders agreement, which would extend the management rights of the Croatian oil and gas company. Meanwhile, the USKOK anti-corruption agency has resumed an investigation into MOL chairman Zsolt Hernadi under suspicion of paying out bribes in order to secure for MOL management rights in INA. In Parliament today, Finance Minister Slavko Linić announced that government will change the spending cap instituted by the previous government, saying that not doing so would require cuts to salaries and pensions. Opposition MPs expressed fears that 2013 will be even more difficult than last year, as the planned budget deficit has already been reached in the first 6 months of the year. The Parliamentary Media Committee today, by majority vote, postponed a discussion on the fate of Goran Radman, the Director General of national broadcaster HRT. Opposition HDZ members of the committee walked out in protest. The Supervisory Board of Croatian Radio Television on Monday launched proceedings for Radman's dismissal after the Conflict of Interest Commission concluded that he should have declared all of his assets after taking up office, including a hotel he owns in Slovenia, which he failed to do. Europe's longest-serving head of government, Luxembourg Prime Minister Jean-Claude Juncker, resigned today in the wake of a spying scandal. Juncker, who spent 18 years as the country's prime minister, announced to Parliament yesterday that he would step down following claims that he failed to stop illegal security agency activity, including phone taps and corruption. Early elections are expected in October. In Portugal, President Aníbal Cavaco Silva has rejected demands from opposition parties that an early election be held. He instead called on all parties to reach a compromise that would enable Portugal to push through its bailout period next year, without requiring a second bailout. Portugal was plunged into political crisis when the finance and foreign ministers resigned last week over the strict austerity measures being imposed. In the arts, the 64th Dubrovnik Summer Games opened last night in front of St. Blaise's Church. On tonight's program are a screening of the children's film Ernst and Celestine at the Jadran Open Air Cinema at 9 p.m. Also at 9, the Trico Circus Theatre will be performing on the city streets, while the Arts School Park will be staging a performance of Mozart's Così fan tutte at 9:30. In sports, Ivo Karlovic is through to the quarterfinals of the ATP tournament in Newport, Rhode Island with a 6-4, 1-6, 6-3 win over Canadian Vasek Pospišil. He faces American John Isner for a spot in the semifinals. Meanwhile, at the WTA tournament in Budapest, Petra Martic lost her second-round match to South Africa's Chanel Scheepers 7-5, 6-4. Predominantly sunny tomorrow with a chance of some isolated showers in southern Dalmatia. There will be a mild to moderate north-northeasterly, turning to a northwesterly later in the day. Sea temperatures will be a comfortable 22 to 25 degrees. Morning lows of 12 to 17 degrees Celsius in the interior, 19 to 24 on the Adriatic, will give way to the day's highs of 22 to 27 degrees inland, 28 to 32 on the coast.